A very good evening to one and all. This video will introduce you to writing classes and objects using C++ programming language. Object-oriented programming is a programming paradigm, just as you have procedural programming or functional programming. Object-oriented programming is a programming paradigm which focuses mainly on security of the data. This programming paradigm revolves around creating objects and classes. So what is a class? Let us understand what is a class by taking an example program. Consider that you are asked to write a program to accept and display details of students. So let's divide this program by asking two questions. First, what are the details? Second, how to accept and display these details. So if you could pause for a while and write down what are the details and how to accept these details, you would be solving the problem. So these are my answers. These details could be name, roll number of the student, address, and so on. How to accept and display in a program? It could be done with simple sequential input-output statements, or it could be written in functions. So a class is a user-defined data type which models this entire problem of accepting and displaying the data of a student. It is a collection of the data, that is the name, roll number, address, and so on, and functions which will be used to accept and display data, basically manipulating the data. This data should be manipulated only by the functions in a class. What are objects? Once you have created a class, you can then create instances of a class which are called objects. To use this class, we have to create objects of it. And only these objects can access the data and functions of the class. We will be studying classes and objects, that is object-oriented programming, using the C++ programming language. C++ programming language is a procedural as well as object-oriented programming language, which means that you can write programs even if they are not of the object-oriented paradigm. Similarly, you can write programming languages only with object-oriented paradigm without using procedural method. C++ language is a superset of the basic programming language C. So if you know C programming language, understanding C++ programming language is not a difficult task. A lot of the syntax is the same. C++ language in fact is written using classes and objects. We will now understand how to write a program using classes and